Okay, so this is a fun one today. We're just going to chat, Shawna and I, about something cool and amazing and inspiring that Shawna Kaminski did this past weekend. Y'all have to check out this episode.
Alli, you're already making me blush. But before we dive in, let's give a shout out to a previous guest and inspiration, Elaine Lane, in episode 44. Make sure you go listen. And now let's dive in.
Welcome to the Girls Talk Healthy Aging podcast, where we dive deep into pressing health and fitness issues facing aging women. I'm Alli Kerr.
And I'm Shawna Kaminski. And together we'll bring candid conversations, expert advice, and personal stories that will inspire and empower you on your own wellness journey.
Shawna, I saw some stuff on Instagram about you this past weekend, and I need to know more. What in the world were you doing this past weekend?
Well, part of the weekend was white knuckling, driving through minus 30 in a snow whiteout condition up to Edmonton. So I think that was the most nerve-wracking part of my weekend when I went to Edmonton to do a weightlifting competition.
And what possessed you to do a weightlifting competition, woman?
Well, you know, my daughter, Hannah, who's been on the podcast, is one of my heroes. And it seems that she's kind of led me down the weightlifting path. I really enjoy weightlifting. And with her encouragement, I thought, well, why not?
Love it.
Why not just kind of do something scary? And for me, that would be scary.
So what was this competition? So it's a weightlifting competition. What does that mean for our listeners that don't know?
So Olympic weightlifting is often confused with powerlifting. And I would encourage people to listen to Hannah's episode because she really explains it a lot. And maybe while I explain this, Alli, you can look up which number Hannah is. But the way weightlifting works is that there are two moves. The snatch is one move, and the clean and jerk is a second move. And the way the weightlifting competition runs is you are divided into weight categories, because a larger person is going to be able to lift a larger amount of weight. So it kind of levels the playing field. And you are allowed 3 lifts. So you do 3 snatches and you do 3 clean and jerks. And then they total the highest snatch and the highest clean and jerk. And that's your total for the competition. So,
and that's episode 66 where Hannah talks about it too. But you did a great little definition there. So,
okay.
So you're getting to compete against people that are similar size,
weight. Yes.
Right.
But this particular competition was called an open competition, which meant you could be any age. And I found out that I was more than 4 times older than at least 2 of the competitors and easily double and 3 times older than everybody else.
Go, Shawna. Go, Shawna. Y'all give Shawna big props for doing that and putting yourself in the. And why is that? Why are there more gals that are older doing this, first of all?
Why aren't there?
Yeah.
Well, there are. And you would find those people at a master's event.
But an open event is different than a master's event because explain that. How is a master? What's the difference?
So then the master's event is divided into weight categories, but then age categories. So then a master's starts, I think, at age 35. So it'd be like 35 to 39, 40 to 44, 45 to 49. So then again, that sort of levels the playing field so that you are competing against people that are of similar age.
So now they're your weight range and your same age range. Yeah. Now, but you did this competition that was open and not a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot of the older, and I say older for weightlifting because, I mean, Shawna's not older, but in weightlifting, I don't know how high the age masters classes
they actually go 70 plus.
Yeah.
So there's some really incredible masters athletes, but the crowd thins as you get older.
Nope.
Because this is like I've been weightlifting. No, I've been lifting weights or doing resistance training for like not all my life, but for a good portion of my life. But these moves, this snatch and clean and jerk, are they're not intuitive. They're quite different. They're different and difficult. And I find that as I age, my kinesthetic awareness isn't as great, along with, mobility issues, new hips,
and your timing, like you have to have a certain amount of quickness and power to do these lifts.
Yeah. But one of the reasons I like Olympic weightlifting is because it's resistance. So, there's strength and bone density being developed, but there's skill. So it challenges my brain. So I think that there's value in that, because I would just be so bored if I was just doing like resistance training, because I've done that for so long. So
and you've gotten to learn a new skill, and then having a competition gives you something to train for and something to look forward to, right?
Correct. Yes. And initially I didn't want to go into a competition because I thought, I just have to go do my heaviest lift there. But my daughter is a coach, and I have another coach that's local because my daughter doesn't live locally. So my other coach, Austin, I'll also put his information in the show notes. They're like, no, you just go. My daughter said this to me the night before the competition: Mom, if I could do it all over again. And she's an international athlete. She's medaled at Commonwealth. She said, Mom, I would just have more fun. I would have less weight on the bar and just go and enjoy being on the platform. So they chose. I just went and did as I was told the day of the competition, which was.
And there's a lesson in that too, going and doing what you're told. So let's talk about that. What were you told, and why did you decide to just go and do what you were told?
Well, having a coach, even as a coach, having a coach, like they know Olympic weightlifting, and I
know things that we don't know as students.
So I wanted to be coachable. They wanted me to, my first lift of the snatch and of the clean and jerk, they wanted me to go very light so that I would be sure to get it, because being in a new environment, like, I can lift more weight in my home gym on a platform when you're not in front of all these lights and people and the competition. And so they just wanted it to be a super positive experience. So they chose weights that were very doable. And they said, hey, we're going to go for a 6-for-6 day. And then your next competition, you can open a little bit heavier, have a little bit heavier weight. And it was just a really, really fun experience. And I was scared, and I just want to encourage other people to do things that are scary. We just had a guest on that said we should say yes more. And I would say that as well, is like, we just need to say yes and do scary things. It doesn't have to be a athletic competition.
But I love that it is that is for you. What is a 6 out of 6? Because I don't know what that means.
Oh, well, so there's 3 snatches. You do 3 snatches. So I wanted to make sure I lifted all 3 snatches without any technical errors or dropped it, or like you have to basically lift the bar from the floor to overhead with a specific form.
Sure.
And so I wanted to get all 3 snatches and all 3 clean and jerks. And so there's time in between. So for example, like I started off the flight because I was lifting the lightest amount of weight in that flight. So I started with my first snatch, and then somebody else followed me, and then they put a bit more weight on the bar, and then I did my second snatch, and then someone else followed me. And so over the course of the competition, they just put increasingly more weight on the bar, and everybody kind of gets their turn at it. So it's it's not a super interesting spectator sport unless you're watching like Olympics or an international event where
you're just into that sport.
Exactly. But like the incredible athleticism to get that some of these people, they just make it look so easy. And it's like, well, it's not super easy, I can tell you.
So were you the oldest competitor?
Yeah.
Male or female?
I like to say chronologically gifted.
I know. I hate to say the oldest, but
No.
You had the highest chronological age in the competition.
I think there was one other fella that was born in 63, and then everybody was like in the 2000s. No, there was a couple other masters.
But what an inspiration for these folks that were competing against you, that were like generations, generation or two below you. That had to be inspiring to see. Like, I mean, it was inspiring to me watching the Instagram posts that you've done. You go, Shawna. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, thank you. It was a lot of fun. I think one of the biggest highlight for me was that my daughter surprised me. So you have to weigh in. So my weigh-in was at 6 a.m. And then you have 2 hours before the competition starts. And so I was just putting my coat away in the change room. It's like 10 to 6, and I get this little tap on my back. And I turned around, and it was Hannah, and she lives in Montreal, and this was in Edmonton. And it was like 6 a.m. And so I thought, well, I must be hallucinating, or like I just stood there stupefied. And so it was just the nicest surprise ever that I got to see her, and that she came for it. So I had 2 coaches in the back room for me.
Wow. And that's important too, is having someone in your corner. Like,
yeah,
you do these things. So finding that support, like even if it, some people, maybe it's not family, maybe it's someone else that is going to be your support. And, luckily, and how awesome that Hannah got to be there. You had a support system. If she wasn't there, it was a great surprise. You had even more support that she was. But I think that's so key, and makes it fun too when you do these things.
Yeah. And I think that I did just have Hannah as a coach, which as an online coach, she's a great coach. But there's lots of lifters at the place that I lift, and lots of people on the platform. And there is a great coach there as well, and a team. And so I decided to join that team because there's something about community.
Yes.
So, I still have Hannah program for me because she knows her mom best, and she's an amazing coach. But then it's nice to have Austin with his eyes on me, and to feel the energy of the group, even though, I could be their mom or the grandma, but that's all right. It's a great, I think it's about finding your place, and finding that spot that you feel supported. And I think it's just really important. So any listener out there, Olympic lifting might not be your thing, but maybe it's pickleball, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's photography. These things are coming up because we just talked about them in a previous podcast. But the idea is to just find your people. Maybe it's a Bible study. Who knows? Whatever it is, surround yourself with those people.
And one thing I find about competing, whether it's been fitness competitions, ninja competitions, or doing something with some kind of aerial showcase, is like the people that are in those communities that do those things are so supportive. And it doesn't matter about the age of the people. They're all cheering for, because they know that everyone has worked hard
to get there,
do what they're doing. And so there's this like common respect. And so what kind of feel did you get from the other people that were competing? How was the camaraderie there?
Well, I mean,
and you're on a team, right? And you're on a team.
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there is a team. There was maybe 10 athletes that went, but
gotcha.
I weighed in at 8 a.m. I weighed in at 6 a.m., competed at 8 a.m. And some of those other people weren't competing till 5 p.m. Like, my expectation was not that the team would be there.
Gotcha.
Like, if I was competing more at like a
closer to,
then often if they would have been there, of course they would have been cheering me on. My coaches were there, and there were a few, but there is a good camaraderie. And in the back area where everybody's warming up, everyone was polite. And I just think that I went into this competition I want to tell you the medal story. I went into this competition mostly just to test myself, because it's one thing to go to the gym and lift, to practice these skills, but I've been to so many competitions for my daughter, and I just wanted to see, well, what's it like from the other side. I wanted to kind of put myself to the test and challenge myself. So you see the start list, and I looked at my weight category, and it's like there's 5 in the 58 kilo weight category. So I said to Alan, I'm top 5, baby. I'm already top 5. And so after the weigh-in, I didn't realize this till later, 2 of the girls didn't make weight. So they were over 58 kilos. So they had to go into the next weight category.
Yes.
So guess what? Top 3, baby.
Top 3, baby. I love it.
Now, I just actually posted, because I did a post, and then there was a picture of me on the podium, and then
because the top 3 get to get on the podium.
Yeah, so I did get a medal. But then I thought, oh my gosh, I've misled people, because then there was people in the background, so it looked like, oh, I beat all these people. It's like, no, they were in the next weight category waiting to get on the podium. So I'm like, full disclosure here, yes, I got a medal. But it was a little bit of the booby prize for that weight category. But I don't really care. But I want to be transparent, to be like, you know what?
Love it.
I was talking.
Hey, you earned that medal, girl. You said yes. You showed up.
Said yes, exactly.
You said yes. You were there. You would not have gotten that medal had you not said yes.
Correct. You have
showed up and done the thing. So give yourself some credit there.
Well, fair enough. But like I said, I wanted to be fully transparent.
I love it.
I did not beat a lot of. I beat the people that didn't enter, and that's
a lot of people. Let's just put that out there. Yeah. That's a lot of people.
Yeah,
you beat all of us sitting on the couch.
Yeah. So I'll give myself grace there, but I don't want to be like, I am just this wonderful lifter.
Well, you are, but I think I'm so proud of you. I'm so impressed. And it was such an inspiration to see your post that you're, Shawna, doing the things, entering contests, training for something. Love, love, love it. And what about the weight? I'm curious about the weigh-ins, because I know that some of these lifters probably do things to meet weight, I'm guessing. But for you, do you have, is there something you did to get ready for? That's what I figured. That's the good thing about doing it and just having fun. You don't have all that stress of
So, and that was another, point my daughter brought up, is like, don't worry about weight. Just go in the weight category that you kind of fit in naturally. And for me, the weight category, they're changing in 2026, but this final year, it's a 58 weight category, and I'm 57 kilos. So perfect. But my daughter, it has had to cut weight for big international events, which I can't even imagine. She would compete as a 49 kilo, and would, even just losing a couple kilos when you're that little was a big struggle for her. And, that's just something that I'm not really interested in.
And that's the good thing about doing it the way that you're doing it, which is for fun. You don't have the stress of all the things like that. You can just relax and step on the scale and say, all right, this is the weight I am. That's the class I'm going to be in.
Well, and I think, one of the gifts of turning 60, I'm 62 now. I'm almost to 63. Honestly, I can't wait till I'm 65, because guess what? I'm in a new age category. I'm one of the young ones in the 65 to 69 category.
There you go.
This is how you look at aging.
Something to look forward to, and we need that. I love that.
But, I think so many people often just think, well, it's over. It's done. Mm-hmm. And I took up weightlifting in my late 50s. I mentioned previously that I had done I've lifted weights before, but not snatches and clean and jerks. These are brand new skills, which are very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to encourage people to think that it's not over. And it doesn't have to be weightlifting. It could.
Right. But take up a new skill.
Yes. Maybe you're going to play the guitar. Maybe,
and our bodies change
or whatever. Do something different.
Yeah, and our bodies change, but there are places to compete in different sports now. Whether it's masters and if it's not sport, it doesn't have to be sport, but just finding something new to challenge our bodies and our brains and give us something to look forward to.
I have a client that dances every week and is learning new dances. It's that's so great for your brain.
Yes. We should. We've got to keep these brains ticking and not stop learning.
Yeah,
and we slow down because we slow down.
Correct. That's exactly it. And so by finding new and challenging things, and really, like Elaine Lane says, something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you had a wish for our listeners, Shawna, what would it be?
It would be to find something to do, something scary to do, to challenge you. And like I said, it doesn't have to be athletics, but just something new and different, and then just go for it. And then tell us about it.
I love it. And so my wish would be that we follow Shawna's example and inspire others, because you definitely inspired me with your competitive nature and your new challenge. So, do something for yourself, but also inspire others.
Thanks, Alli.
Thanks for listening. You'll find me, Alli, on Instagram at Alli Kerr Fitness.
And you'll find me, Shawna, on Instagram at Shawna Kaminski. Feel free to pop us a DM with questions and or feedback.
If you're enjoying the Girls Talk Healthy Aging podcast, please subscribe and share it with other health-minded women. Ratings and reviews are also much appreciated and help us get our message out to a larger audience.
Until next time, be healthy and be happy.